So, unfortunately, it looks like Bernie Sanders is continuing with some just really terrible and no thought whatsoever given to his political strategy with the messaging he's putting out. So, I saw that he went on Jimmy Fallon's show last night, and it's just so disappointing to see Bernie Sanders again making the case that he thinks Joe Biden could actually defeat Donald Trump. Jesus fucking Christ. Bernie and your team, you gotta get your shit together. Seriously, this is getting just pathetic at this point in the campaign that you're actually still harping on the fact that you think Joe Biden can defeat Donald Trump. Not only is it not true for a multitude of policy and voting record, Iraq war, NAFTA, bankruptcy bill, wanting to cut Social Security, Medicare, the whole corruption just that there's shrouds over Joe Biden, the obvious, very serious and sad cognitive decline that Joe Biden is experiencing. All of those things, and there's obviously a laundry list of other policy and voting record that I could have listed. Those are just some of the more egregious ones. Obviously, the disastrous crime bill, the war on drugs, wanting not being in support of reproductive rights, all of these things, bragging about working with segregationists to fight, busing. And poll after poll shows that no, Joe Biden actually gets crushed by Donald Trump, especially in the all-important swing states, especially the Rust Belt, for things like NAFTA, which Joe Biden supported, and it led to million-plus jobs being outsourced. A huge chunk of them, high-paying jobs, were outsourced as a result of that. Bernie Sanders beats Trump in those swing states, and it shows that he beats him with the Electoral College math as well. So Bernie, stop making that fucking point. It is stupid. It is ridiculous. It's horrible political strategy. Stop saying that. Joe Biden is the front runner at this point. He has the momentum. You need to be making the case again that you're the only candidate who can defeat Donald Trump. Biden loses for policy, for voting record, for the corruption, for the obvious and very sad cognitive decline. You need to be making the case that you're the only one who can defeat Donald Trump. Quit saying that Joe Biden can if, there's more moderate or a lot of the moderate and centrist Democrats are solely voting on who they think can defeat Donald Trump. They're not voting based on, policy positions. It's more of who they think can defeat Donald Trump. So you need to be hitting Biden hard on the electability issue. Take that out of your mouth, Bernie. I don't want to hear you saying that bullshit again. It's hugely disappointing and frustrating, and I think that Bernie just believes that, has that delusional mindset for some reason, but people on his team need to really smarten up and wise up, because again, Bernie needs to completely flip the narrative that he again is the only one who can defeat Donald Trump. Please, for God's sakes, Bernie, stop saying that Biden could defeat Donald Trump. It's not true, and it's horrible political strategy. You need to be getting those moderate, those centrist voters who are only concerned with getting Donald Trump out of office. You need to make the case that you are the only one to do that. Stop saying that Biden can. That is horrible. It's horrible political strategy, and honestly, I don't know what people, his advisors, his campaign manager, whatever, they really need to sit Bernie down. Man, you gotta fucking stop saying that. This is just getting out of control at this point. But I've been saying this, for the last couple of weeks, that Bernie really needs to just completely change around the messaging that him and his campaign, his surrogates that are putting out there, but it doesn't really look like they're listening to some, honestly, I think, sound advice, in my opinion. And I'm not obviously the only one who've said this. A lot of people on, the Twitter sphere, huge, YouTube show, Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk, he's made this point repeatedly, but it just seems like either Bernie deep down really believes that, again, for some delusional reason that's not based in reality or fact. So it's just, but even if he thought that, don't say it out loud. It's horrible political strategy. Bernie, please, for God's sakes, I implore you, I implore the people around you, stop saying that. When you get interviewed and you say that Biden could defeat Donald Trump, you know, it's not going to convert the voters that you need in order to actually defeat Biden in the primary. You need to be going after Biden hard. You need to be just attacking him with everything you got on policy, on voting record, on the electability issue. Make the point that Biden's the actual extremist, and the radical, and that you're the moderate, you're the centrist because you support policy positions that a vast majority of people in the U.S. support, you know, like Medicare for all, like free college, like canceling student loan debt, like legalizing marijuana, like a wealth tax, like ending the wars, all of these things. And you get, it just, I don't know, just hugely disappointing. And it's like, is Bernie and his team, are they not really, do they not have what it takes to really just run a really, you know, cutthroat campaign that's really, you know, willing to do the grunt work, the work behind the scenes to get elected? Because it just seems like they're, at this point, just, I don't know, not up to par for the task at hand. And it's like, this is just kind of one example of that. And it's like, they got to get their really got to get their shit together. And I hope they, you know, Bernie and his team really, you know, make some changes, because it's gonna be, I don't know, if he goes on the debate stage. Obviously it's more of a town hall because the DNC rigged it to favor Biden and to prop up his just, you know, feeble-mindedness and his cognitive decline. But if he goes on that debate stage and gets asked about this electability issue and says that you know, he thinks that Biden can defeat Trump, it's, I don't know, it's gonna be very, very off-putting. And it just makes it hard for me to want to continue to support Bernie at the level I have by, you know, donating, canvassed, you know, making these videos about why I support. And obviously, you know, I obviously hugely and very strongly want him to become the candidate, but they need to be willing to just do whatever it takes to make sure he's the nominee. And it seems like Biden and his team are willing to do that with the backroom deals, with the endorsements, with the help of Obama, and just really, you know, getting all of those endorsements lined up, and just the you know, strategy and the nature of that. You know, it was impressive, but obviously, you know, deeply disturbing, the lengths that the establishment's willing to do to take the nomination from Bernie. But Bernie and his team also need to level up at this point. You know, this isn't fucking checkers, this is chess, and they need to start treating the situation like it, in my opinion. So, bit of a rant, but again, Bernie Sanders needs to never say that shit again. It's based in reality. In fact, he's the only one who could defeat Trump. And again, even if you thought that deep down, it's horrible political strategy. Bernie, stop saying that shit, please, for God's sakes. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Peace, much love.